Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Navebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, continuing reading the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 17. Text number? I don't know. 1711. That sounds about right, because this last one was talking about all these food stuff. So we'll start with text number 11. Here's some intense chanting somewhere. That's pretty nice. Apalakang shibirya gyo vidhi drishtoya ijyate yastavyam eveti mana samadhaya sasatvika. Of sacrifices, that sacrifice performed according to duty and to scriptural rules and with no expectation of reward is of the nature of goodness. Text 12. Abhisandhaya tu palam tam partham apichayvayat isyate bharata shrestha tam yagyam vidirajasam. But that sacrifice performed for some material end or benefit, or performed ostentatiously out of pride, is of the nature of passion, O chief of the Bharatas. Text 13. Vidihinam ashrishtanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yagyam tamasam parichakshate. And that sacrifice performed in defiance of scriptural injunctions, in which no spiritual food is distributed, no hymns are chanted, and no remunerations are made to the priests, and which is faithless, that sacrifice is of the nature of ignorance. Text 14. Devadija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shauch Shariram Tappa Uchyate. The austerity of the body consists in this worship. The austerity of the body consists in this worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and the superiors like the father and mother. Cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence are also austerities of the body. Austerity of speech consists in speaking truthfully and beneficially, and in avoiding speech that offends. One should also recite the Vedas regularly. Text 16. Mana prasada samutyavam manam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir ityetat tapo manasam uchyate. In serenity, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purity of thought are the austerities of the mind. Text 17. Shraya paraya taptam tapastatri vidham narahai apalalakshabir yuktai satvikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity practiced by men whose aim is not to benefit themselves materially, but to please the Supreme, is of the nature of goodness. Text 18. Of results, or in a grudging mood, is said to be charity in the mode of passion. That's the last one, or we do one more? So we can return to text number 11. Where we can read the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Would anybody like to volunteer to read this said translation and purport?
And to scriptural rules with no expectation of reward is of the nature of goodness. The general tendency is to offer sacrifices with some purpose in mind, but here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in temples or in churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit, but that is not the mode of goodness. One should go to a temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the scriptural injunctions. One should go simply to offer respects to the deity. That will place one in the mode of goodness. It is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Who would like to read text 12?
Text 12. But that sacrifice performed for some material end or benefit, or performed ostentatiously out of pride, is of the nature of passion, O chief of the Bharatas. Purport. Sometimes sacrifices and rituals are performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom, or for some material benefits in this world. Such sacrifices or ritualistic performances are considered to be in the mode of passion.
In text 13.
Vidhi hinam, without scriptural direction. Astrata ananam, without distribution of prasadam. mantra hinam, with no chanting of the Vedic hymns, adaksinam, with no remunerations to the priests, shraddha, faith, virahitam, without yajnam, sacrifice, tamasam, in the mode of ignorance, parika sate, is to be considered, and that sacrifice performed in defiance of scriptural injunctions, in which no spiritual food is distributed, no hymns are chanted, and no remunerations are made to the priests, and which is faithless. That sacrifice is of the nature of ignorance. Purport: faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually